Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, who has Christian Crusader tattoos and likes to get drunk at strip clubs and have brawls, has decided to get the soldiers together and do some prayers for Charlie Kirk. Now, what I find particularly odd is forcing soldiers to pray for a political activist and provocateur with a Christian prayer when I thought it was supposed to be separation of church and state, and I do find it quite precarious that the military is getting involved in what right-wing activists do, It seems quite inappropriate. Because if Joe Biden or Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom, if he became president, was to be ministering to the soldiers about lamenting over a far-left activist or a Marxist, the right wing would have a meltdown. And so I find it very strange how so many of the rules at the far right, the classic Republicans, the MAGA-tardians, you name it, they really are not practicing what they preach, and they seem to be flipping on a lot of their principles. And so I think it's important to archive this so that in the future, for the history books at least, there can be more honesty about the political factions going at each other's throat during such a tumultuous cultural phenomenon that has just occurred. And a setting point of the future as well, because whoever this gets pinned on is going to shape a different pathway for the American people. And so Pete Hegseth, who deeply resents Muslims, is friends and adores Charlie Kirk, who also hates Muslims, and he's going to the soldiers and telling them and pressuring them and holding them hostage, essentially, and forcing Christianity upon them when they're supposed to be indifferent because there are all religions in the military, and you're not supposed to have a Christian military, essentially United States Army, right? You're supposed to keep the religion at the door and serve the flag, and the flag of America is a secular flag, and there's also atheists within that rank of there as well. So it's strange to me how 1 minute when Muslims are praying, it's like, hey, you can't have your religion mixed in with your military, that's jihad, that's this, that's that. But then you'll see someone like Pete Hegseth, who glorifies the Crusades, who is unabashed about his animosity towards Muslims and his love of warmongering, is pressuring those soldiers with videos. Like, if the soldiers don't do it, they will get canceled, their families could be attacked, MAGA is out for blood. So you're forcing these people to give performative oaths, performative lamentations, very North Korean style, to someone who they may not even care that much about. And this is awkward, truly quite awkward. And so I find this to be a very troubling path. The consistent, pernicious anti-Muslim rhetoric of the MAGA movement is quite telling. And I really hope all the believers stay safe, still wear your hijabs, don't let people intimidate you. And I've already seen people like Laura Loomer and countless others try to pin this on Muslims with zero evidence as of the moment. They really want war with Iran, so they gotta push it somehow. They gotta have some reason to pop it off, because Americans, when they're angry, they're very vengeful. They're very like, hey, we have to soak this sand, we're coming. And they're not very rational when their blood is boiling. Their impulsivity overrides their rationality, and they are able to be led any way in marching lockstep to fulfill a mission. And then later say, oh, I can't believe I fell for that. So, again, it's quite disturbing. So, let me know what you think. And I'd be very curious as to a Christian explaining the hypocrisy, forcing soldiers to pray a Christian prayer and then forcing them to show allegiance to a Christian Republican activist. Because I recall the right wing was upset when they thought Joe Biden was not letting Trump supporters enlist in the military, or was doing purity tests for soldiers concerning their social media posts. So again, it's quite telling how quickly the right wing will throw away its principles, rewrite it, and then later go back to it. It's very ping pong, and I find that to be a movement that creates a lot of whiplash because you don't know the rules.